So I know on the student aid website, it tells you about consolidating your loans, either consolidating or going through a rehabilitation process in order to get your loans out of default. And I get it. You want the fastest way possible to be done with these loans. I 100% understand it. But when it comes to getting your loans out of default, it's not necessarily always about what is the fastest, because either one of the processes is going to get you to where you need to go, depending on which one you qualify for, either the consolidation or either the rehabilitation. But it's important to know about both of them and what that means. So if you have loans that are available to consolidate, because you have to have loans that are able to be consolidated. So if you've already consolidated all of your loans, then that would not be an option for you. You can't take the loan that's been consolidated and reconsolidate it into itself, if that makes sense. But if you do have loans that are available for consolidation, what's important to know is that the rules for consolidation are not the same as they were during COVID, which means that it's back to the regular rules, the old rules that it was. And what that could mean for you is that you could potentially lose payments that you've already made, time if you qualify for public service loan forgiveness program. You could potentially lose that time when you consolidate the loan. Another factor to remember, if you consolidate the loan and that defaulted information is on your credit report, it's going to remain. You'll have to dispute that when you do a consolidation, because there's no regulation that speaks about, like it does with the rehabilitation, about once you consolidate the loan that they're going to remove that defaulted record, because when you go into a consolidation, that just opens up a whole new loan. But the old loans are still there and showing the defaulted information. Now, let's say you decide to rehab the loan, if rehabilitation is available to you. And one thing to remember, if you do rehabilitation, you are only in rehabilitation for 10 months, 9 to 10 months. No longer than that. There's a lot of companies that are out here that are actually scamming borrowers and bringing them in, taking their money, and having them being in a rehabilitation program for way longer than it is actually allowed. So it's only 10 months, okay? And you can see who is the agency over your defaulted student loan by logging into your student aid account. So when you go to studentaid.gov and log in, you'll see all of that information there, okay? But there is a regulation, and it is 1078-6, the default reduction program, if I'm saying that properly. And what that means is that once you go through the rehabilitation process, so you do those 9 to 10 months of payments, consecutive payments that they have you to make, what happens is that information, that defaulted information, is then removed from your credit report. So once that loan has rehabilitated, transferred back over to the Department of Education, you're now back in good status. Not only that, you get the information removed from your credit report. Also, any of those collection fees from that debt collector and any other fees, you also have the potential to have those removed or those waived from your balance. So it's just important to know all of the options that you have prior to making a decision as far as to consolidate or to rehab, because you want to make, at the end of the day, the best decision for you. I mean, hell, having the loans within themselves is a lot, but you don't want to cause any additional unnecessary harm or things like that. You want to at the end of this come out way better than you went in. And I know that probably sounds like, how can I come out way better than I went in? But as far as getting the information removed from the credit report, and then also any additional fees and things that you can potentially avoid. But I hope that helps, and yeah, good luck.